Imagine two stories unfolding at the same time. One that brings children home safe, and another that leaves a community reeling for answers. In December 2025, a massive multi-agency effort called Operation Northern Lights, led by the U.S. Marshals Service, recovered 43 critically missing children, some as young as 18 months, from across 14 counties in Florida and beyond, bringing them back to safety just in time for the holidays. It was hailed as one of the most impactful recoveries of missing youth in recent years, with law enforcement, social services, and advocates working side by side to make it possible. But as families were being reunited, another story was unfolding in New England, a violent spree that stunned two academic communities. Claudio Manuel Neves Valente, a longtime U.S. resident with ties to both Browne University and MIT, is now believed to have carried out a deadly campus shooting that claimed the lives of students and, days later, the murder of a respected MIT professor. The manhunt that followed and his eventual death raised urgent questions about motive and warning signs. Tonight, we explore both sides of justice and protection, the harrowing work of saving vulnerable children, and the equally complex tragedy of senseless violence, to understand how law enforcement, families, and communities navigate the darkest and brightest moments of human experience.
Season 6, we're back again. Kristi and Katie, your crime time friends. Stories, justice, laughs collide. True Crime Squad, come join the ride. Grab the clues, let's take a stand. For victims' voices, hand in hand. True Crime Squad, it's time to shine. Season 6, your turn, your time. Ooh, ooh, ooh. True Crime Squad, where justice meets hilarity.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the True Crime Squad. This is Katie Weaver. I'm here with my sister, co-host, and partner in crime, Kristi Brower. Hello.
Hello. Hey, everybody.
How's it going?
It's the Monday before Christmas.
Yeah. Yes.
What the hell? Okay.
Yeah. Someone called me.
I guess it is.
Yeah, it is. Well, someone called me today from my insurance. I don't know if your guys' insurance does this, but mine's always trying to make you do telehealth or, get accustomed to the on-call doctors network, because they'd like you to use them because they're cheap.
Oh, really? No?
Yeah, so every year about this time they call and they try and trick you into having an appointment with them. Anyway, so the lady calls me today and I was like, yeah, okay, I don't know when. And she said, well, we've got spots tomorrow if you have some time. And I said, it's 3 days before Christmas. I don't have some time. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, what? Who's making appointments like this week? Yeah, absolutely not.
Right.
No.
Yeah, only if it's an emergency is anybody making appointments this week.
Yeah. It's also we just want to do a health evaluation. And I'm like, is this in my best interest? I'm thinking probably not.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I think no.
Tricky bullshit.
Yeah. But we had a hell of a good weekend.
Yes, we did. We had a great week. Last week, Thursday night, was my concert. It went really well. It was so fun. And we were in this little venue and we packed it full, which we didn't really know how many people were going to come to hear us sing. Mm-hmm. So that was really, really great. It was very fun.
It was standing room only.
Yeah.
And it was super good. I can promise as a witness, it was absolutely beautiful. And your solo was perfect.
Well, thank you. It was really magical. It was really, really fun. It was a good thing for us as a new choir, to get that first performance under our belts and have it have gone well. So, yeah, it was a blast.
It was awesome. Yeah. And then Saturday, we were all in Boise for Mars's graduation from Boise State University.
Yeah.
Which was fun. And she had a huge surprise that none of you knew about.
Yes.
I've been sworn to secrecy for months, but she was invited to be a marshal for her college, which was the School of Public Service. So, meaning she got to carry the banner it was heavy, in case you're wondering, and do an interview that got to be broadcasted during commencement. So that was pretty cool.
That was really, really great. That girl is top of her class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, awesome. She had special chords for being a marshal, and then of course, and then she had first gen chords because Matea and now her are the first college graduates on her dad's side of the family at all, and then high honors chords.
Well, yeah, I was going to say she's also magna cum laude, so yeah.
So yeah, very cool, super fun, and I cried mostly because I'm just so relieved I will never have to edit that capstone again. Her capstone paper got up to 30 pages, and she'd call me and be like, "Hey, I just shared my capstone with you. Can you edit that for me real quick? 30 pages, bro. 30."
Good Lord.
Mm-hmm. She got 100% on it, however, so we did good. But
well, good.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so glad she's done. And now she's going to be taking a little time this spring to study and be ready to apply or to take the LSAT and then apply for law school. So she's got a long ways still to go, but at least she's got the bachelor's under her belt. Yeah. So here we are.
That's exciting. That's got to be such a good feeling for her.
I think she doesn't know what to do with herself. She called me today. She got called into work early and she seemed kind of relieved. Like this semester's probably been her hardest one. She has busted her ass.
Oh, yeah.
She got 2 A minuses. She was really mad. But, such is life, Mars. Some of us only got A minuses, okay? But anyway, now with nothing to do, she doesn't really know. In fact, they're not leaving for my house until tomorrow night. And she goes, I could get up first thing in the morning and come. I might. I don't know what else to do. Yeah. She's... when you're in go time for a while.
Oh, yeah.
And all you do is study and write papers when you don't have anything to do, it does feel weird.
Mm-hmm. It does. It's a weird feeling to get out of school. Well, it's just like when you graduate from high school, too. It's such a weird feeling for a little while. Like, I feel like I should be doing something, but I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm. Well, because even when you relax for a while, you still have something hanging over your head pretty much always,
Yeah. It's a weird thing when you don't.
Yeah.
Well, good for her.
For sure. Yeah. So good. Yeah. So, and we've been working diligently on your songs. Many of you purchased songs for Christmas this year, and we are really getting there. If you have not sent us the info for your song, please do it, because we got to get that done like tomorrow. We got to get these out the door for you and for us. So,
I think we're caught up.
We're real close, I think. Yeah. Really close.
I did all of them that I had today.
Did you? Okay. I have one left. I think I have one left. So we are getting there, and they've turned out so good. So freaking good.
They have. Yeah, I've been really pleased.
Yeah. If you are the most last minute of Nellie's and you really still wanted to do that, do it today.
Yep.
And I promise I will have time for you tomorrow, but do it today. The way you do it is you go to truecrimesquad.com, and there's a link there. Right there in our
store. Go into the
store.
shop and you'll find it.
Okay, go into the shop and you'll find a link. You just literally buy it. We'll send you an email and find out what you wanted it to say. And then, Red, get on it, man. And then we'll get it done and send it over. So this is the last call for songs. Yeah. And when you email us, be sure that you send us a picture if you want a cover picture, and we'll include that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, we will.
Good stuff. This is our last Monday show of 2025. And tomorrow will be our last show of 2025. And our last show of season 6. Yeah.
Yeah. We're right down to the end.
So much happening. But there's been some big doings in true crime that I wanted to bring to you. So we have a lot to talk about tonight. So, Kristi, I'm going to kick it over to you for our first segment.
Yes. So let's talk about Operation Northern Lights. This is a really cool thing that has just wrapped up. This is a multi-agency child recovery mission that started in northern Florida in early December of 2025, and they just wrapped it up. So it was a 12-day law enforcement led by the U.S. Marshals Service They teamed up with federal, state, and local partners, including Homeland Security, Florida law enforcement agencies, child welfare professionals, and nonprofits, to find and safely recover critically missing children. Washington, are you paying attention? So, critically missing children is a label that's used for kids who are at an elevated risk of harm, like they're in a situation where there's potential violence or sexual exploitation, substance abuse, domestic instability, or some kind of criminal exposure. That also puts these children at high risk of trafficking. They located and safely recovered 43 missing children from 14 counties across North Florida. Their ages ranged from 1.5 to 17. Some were found inside Florida, and others were actually located across state lines in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Tennessee.
Wow.
So far, 9 arrests have been made, with what it sounds like to be more coming, as they're determining why these kids went missing. Some were missing for weeks, others missing for months. When they got a hold of these kids, they were immediately evaluated with medical care, connected with social services, fed, connected with advocacy groups and mental health agencies. So they were immediately given all of the resources. Florida officials are very happy about this. They're calling this the most successful missing child operation in Northern Florida's history. And they talked about how important it is to coordinate. Yeah, no shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here are the kinds of situations that these kids were in: custodial interference or parental abduction, children taken or hidden by non-custodial adults, teens being harbored by adults who are not legally responsible for them, youth vulnerable to trafficking, drug exposure, or ongoing abuse, and children missing from unstable or unsafe home environments. You know, like Harmony Montgomery, maybe?
Yeah.
Some had been gone weeks, others months.
Wow.
Some of the charges included in these cases are custodial interference, harboring a runaway, obstruction, and probation violations. Additional arrests are definitely possible, especially where adults knowingly concealed children.
Mm-hmm.
Not every recovery led to an arrest. They said that in some cases, the priority was actually the stabilizing of the child, not immediately charging caregivers, because that could throw an already vulnerable child into another unsafe situation. So I thought that was really cool, that this wasn't just about getting in and out in a one and done kind of situation, but this was really about discovering what is going on, where these children are, who has them, and what will stabilize them and their safety.
Yeah. As should happen. I mean,
yeah.
The fact that it doesn't is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's ridiculous. The way that missing children's cases are handled so differently across every single case is so stupid that there isn't more structure to all of the things that should happen. Some recoveries did involve known trafficking indicators. Others were considered early intervention cases, so kids that weren't yet trafficked but were clearly at risk of being trafficked.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a ton still being reviewed, because this only took 12 days. They're still reviewing the digital evidence, contacts, locations, all kinds of stuff. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot more to come.
Yeah.
But what we know now is that 43 children who were in unsafe situations are now in a better situation.
Mm-hmm.
Here's why the Northern Lights operation is different and why they think it's so successful. Because most missing child operations focus on one city or county and only last a few days. This covered 14 counties and crossed state lines.
Wow.
They used real-time intelligence sharing with all of these different agencies. And this was also a combined law enforcement and social service response. Yeah, which is exactly how it should always be, but isn't. So, basically, this is awesome because it's a good model for other states to try. I mean, is it stunning to anybody that many children were missing from those 14 counties to begin with? 43.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
A ton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is really, really, really positive.
Yeah.
I really love that states worked together, that feds and local law enforcement worked together, and that they included social services. Like, this is the way that it should be.
Right.
This
is
recovery
a model
effort
that should be followed. Yeah.
Yeah. And expanded upon. This recovery involved 80 plus personnel from 25 plus agencies.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that they can all put their egos aside and just work together is a pretty damn big miracle, to be honest.
It really is. It really is. And to make this about the safety of the children, over and above everything else, that's what really matters.
Just thinking about this, because we've seen other cases where you have offices that refuse to work with anybody else and it creates such a problem and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But just you saying that, the safety of the children was the number one goal. I suppose if you make that your organization's mission, that maybe you can get people to lay their shit aside and work together in a better way. If that's the ultimate goal, maybe that does it. I hope so.
Is the safety and stabilization of these kids. Right.
Yeah.
So, so just so you know, like, what's happened to these children. Some have been reunited with family, or others are placed with safe caregivers within the system. Not always the best, but in some situations, that's what they've got.
Yeah.
The sheriff's offices are also highlighting community reintegration efforts and local support for caregivers, for the children, to get them right into school, to get them right into counseling, to get them wherever they need to be for the best support possible for them.
Yeah.
And so the continued follow-up that's the thing that's so important.
Yes. Right. This can't just be okay, now it's settled. Not at all.
Yeah.
It won't be settled for these kids until they're adults. Yeah. And even then, but.
Yeah. I do think it's pretty incredible that they found 43 kids.
That's amazing. Yeah.
I mean, it tells you that it can be done. Hey, Washington. You watching? Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a few quotes from some of the people involved. Acting U.S. Marshal Greg Lejedal from the U.S. Marshals. This was the most successful missing child operation ever conducted in northern Florida because of the tireless dedication of the U.S. Marshals and our law enforcement partners. 43 endangered children will now be home safe for the holidays. The recovered children ranged in age from 1.5 to 17 years old. This operation was not only about finding the missing children, but also providing immediate physical and psychological care to help them begin the path to healing. Awesome that was their plan from the very beginning. Sheriff Walt McNeil from one of the counties, no child will be left behind, is what he says. This just started, I would imagine, a snowball as they continue this work. He was talking about the coordinated efforts by the Human Exploitation and Trafficking Unit in his department. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Derek Driscoll from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Each recovery represents a child removed from harm's way and an opportunity to connect them with resources that can help prevent future victimization. Yeah. Sergeant Rachel Buell from Leon County Sheriff's Office. You would think that finding kids probably wouldn't be that hard, but in all reality, they're harder to find sometimes than the adults. Yeah. Finding them before they find themselves in situations they can't get themselves out of is important to us.
Yeah.
So yeah, way to go, Northern Florida. Way to show the rest of this country how to do it. And, it's time for every state to start doing the same thing, because there are hundreds of thousands of missing children in this country.
Yeah.
And with hard work and coordinated effort, they can be found. This is a good indicator of that. So let's get our shit together.
Yeah.
Get going.
Absolutely.
And with that, Katie, I'm going to kick the mic back over to you for our main case.
Okay. All right. Well, I am going to talk about Claudio Manuel Neves Valente and the crimes that he committed earlier this month, and how investigators found him and figured out that he was the perp of both. He went on quite the murder spree in New England. It's unbelievable. But let's start with him, and then we'll start talking about his crimes. So let me get his picture pulled up here. This is Claudio. He was about 48. He was born in Portugal. Though he's been in the U.S. and is a permanent resident, he's been here for 25 years. His last known residence is Miami. We know that he studied physics at the Instituto Superior Técnico in Lisbon, Portugal in the late 1990s. We also know that he then came as a PhD student to the U.S. To study physics in the fall of 2000. At where? Browne University. He took a leave of absence in April 2001 and later withdrew formally in 2003. He did not complete his degree. Classmates from that time say that he was very much academically capable, but really socially awkward and was really prone to anger and outbursts, and basically thought that everybody was stupid and that the school was stupid and that it wasn't academically rigorous enough for him.
Oh boy.
So let's go back to the 13th of December. On the 13th of December, authorities have surveillance that shows him arriving in the Providence, Rhode Island area. He rented a car that he picked up in Boston, they believe around November 17th. And then again later in December. So he came to Providence for a little while in mid-November. Then he came back. On December 13th, someone opened fire in a crowded lecture hall in the Barris and Hawley Engineering Building on the Browne University campus, and 2 students were killed. Ella Cook and Muhammad Aziz Umerzakov. 9 others were killed. I wanted to introduce you to those 2 victims. This is Ella. They were just at a lecture. That's all. And then this is Muhammad. They weren't doing anything wrong. Not that
they were just
they would have class. To be. They were just in class. Yeah.
Jesus.
But the shooter fled. Now, initially, the FBI had announced that they had a person of interest in custody. They named that person. And the Daily Mail did a huge article on that person, only they had the wrong person and completely doxed a completely innocent person. But as it turned out, so did the FBI, because the guy they had also was a very brief person of interest, and they realized that he had nothing to do with it and set him free. And then nothing came of their investigation for several days. So that, of course, all of that happened on December 13th. On December 15th, 2 days later, there was a shooting at the home of Professor Nuno F. Loureiro, in his home in Brookline, Massachusetts. He was a physics professor at MIT. What's his connection to Valente?
Yeah.
They went to college together in Portugal.
Oh. I've been wondering. I hadn't seen what the connection was. Wow.
Mm-hmm. He knew him a very long time ago.
Weird.
Yeah. So he was shot in the entryway to his building. And again, the shooter fled, which of course started a huge manhunt to find the person who was doing these things. And it took him a little bit to start tying it together and realize it was literally the same person. So they started putting together all of their the information that they had. They had some ballistics. They had some surveillance photos. And then they were able to put together the rental car and started piecing it all together. And what it led to was that on December 17th and 18th, the police, of course, there's a manhunt for both the shooter of Loureiro and as well as the Browne University shooting. On December 18th, that's when law enforcement says, hey, we think the shooter is the same person. And then they were actually able to identify Valente as the shooter. Through all of these records of things that they have searched to, or they are tracking down, they find a storage unit that's connected to Valente. So they head out to the storage unit, and guess who they find there? Valente, deceased, suicide. He died the day after the second shooting. How do they know it was him? Well, both of the guns that were used, he did use different guns in each shooting, but both of those guns were present in the storage unit, as well as other items that he had with him in surveillance that were in the storage unit. All kinds of stuff that they were able to use, as well as tracking that same rental car from both incidences. Where the professor lived versus where Browne is about 45 minutes apart. So not a long ways to get to one or the other. But they had, plenty of stuff in the storage unit that helped tie them both together. So again, vehicle and travel records, the storage unit record. So he had rented this storage unit in Salem, Massachusetts. That's where he was found.
Okay.
So again, we know that he died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was dead, they assume, for about 2 days before they found him. There was some body armor and other things there as well that tied him to the Browne shooting, and some personal effects as well. And some things that, we probably don't know and never will. Because in cases like this, a lot of times when the suspect is dead, sometimes there's not a lot more information that comes out. We do know that there's been no suicide note or manifesto publicly released.
That's what I was just going to ask. Where's the manifesto?
Yeah, they have not announced a manifesto. They also have not announced that there are any accomplices. So they don't really know. They don't think there are any accomplices, but they don't really know, at least they're not saying, why he did this.
Right.
No real idea.
Oh, Ashley's saying the storage unit was in Salem, New Hampshire.
Oh, New Hampshire. Sorry. There,
not Salem, Massachusetts.
that
That's
makes
so
more
confusing.
sense. Yeah. Yes. So, there's a lot of questions. One of them, the bigger one I had, and I can't find an answer to this, is who is this guy? We know he lived in Florida. We know he was smart as hell. We also know that he was a difficult person. A lot of people that have spoke about him have said he was a really difficult person. We don't know what he's done for a living for the last 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot we don't know, and maybe never will. There's no public record of him ever being married or having children. There's also no record of him being employed, at least in the public sector. There's no next of kin that's made any kind of a statement either. So we just have no idea.
Yeah. Oh, so many questions about who this dude is and why. And
Mm-hmm.
why now?
And why now? Yeah. I mean, was it this old of a grudge? Now, people that knew him say that he hated Browne from his time there. And so we don't know if he hated the MIT professor too, if that's why he did this. We don't know.
Right. Or had there been a recent something happen? Because why did he come in November?
Mm-hmm.
Did something happen in November, or was that him casing this out?
That's my guess, is that he was casing, but that's a good point. Did something happen that pissed him off while he was here?
Yeah.
No
Did
idea.
he try to get some attention or something that didn't go well?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is
Or
weird. Why the MIT professor?
yeah. Or
They,
are
they
these
had
just
to have had
people?
some other connection besides them having gone to school together all that time ago.
Well, you would certainly think so. But that MIT professor went on to be super successful. I mean, he was a very well respected expert in his field. And
Yeah.
was he just, did he follow his career and he was jealous of that?
Could be. Just seems like there would have to be more, but there isn't always.
Right? Or do we just, is there, how ill was this man in his brain? I wanted to tell you a little bit about the victims, though. So Ella Cook from Browne University, she was 19. She was a sophomore. She's from Birmingham, Alabama. She was vice president of Browne College's Republicans Club and was a student leader. She was described by her church and her friends as a bright, kind, and faithful presence. This has just rocked her family, her friends. It's just
I can
unthinkable.
imagine.
She was killed when the gunman opened fire inside an engineering building, as we know, in a lecture hall. This was during a final exam review session.
Oh man.
They were just almost done for Christmas, and this shit goes down. And then Muhammad Aziz Umarzakov. He was 18. He was a freshman. He's from Uzbekistan, and then later Virginia. He was an
Okay.
immigrant and a scholarship student. He wanted to be a neurosurgeon to help others. His family described him as kind hearted, intellectually curious, compassionate, and always willing to help others. He was actively engaged in extracurriculars like Model UN and debate before deciding that he really wanted to be a doctor.
Oh,
And he was in
wow.
the same place that she was when the gunman opened fire. We
Wow.
also know that there were 9 other students that were injured. Some were just minor injuries, but there are some that are still in the hospital in stable condition, just healing.
Wow.
And then the professor, Nuno F. Loureiro, was an MIT professor, and I haven't showed you his picture. Let me put him up. He was 47. He was a tenured professor of nuclear science and engineering and physics at MIT. He was born in Portugal. He earned his PhD at Imperial College London and built a highly respected career in plasma physics research. He held leadership roles in fusion science, including director of MIT's Plasma Science and Fusion Center. He was recognized for his scientific contributions and his mentorship of students and young researchers. As we know, he was shot in his home in Brookline, Massachusetts. He actually didn't die immediately. He died the next day in the hospital.
That's so sad.
Things that have been said about him is that he was a brilliant scientist, a dedicated mentor, and a compassionate teacher.
Wow.
Which is incredibly sad. Yeah. Yeah.
Ashley says my sister-in-law works for MIT, and this professor had spoken to her office. She said the first thing he said was that his cat didn't like him.
Oh.
She also said that he has 3 young daughters.
Oh, that's incredibly sad. I'm glad that his family wasn't hurt. Yeah, he was brilliant. He was
that's very scary to be shot at his house.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, so both schools are just reeling from this. And again, there's just really no answers, at least yet, or maybe ever, about why. We can infer, that maybe he was still mad at Browne from his time there. Maybe he was jealous and hated this guy. Had they been in contact? Maybe. And maybe those kinds of, emails and things like that are things that investigators are still going through. I hope we get some kind of answers about why in the world this went down. But again, in cases like this, we frequently don't.
Yeah.
But
I know. It would be, I don't know if it helps to know, but sometimes it seems like it does.
Yeah.
For people who went through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and you have to kind of think that Valente, you got to think that he kind of figured that he would eventually be caught, considering.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
He obviously didn't intend on living after this, but he did manage to commit 2 shootings and get away and die on his own terms, which is that's pretty amazing that he managed to pull this off twice in 2 days.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Ashley said, I know the neighborhood and I still can't figure out how he could have been shot at his apartment and gotten away without being seen. Yeah. Yeah. So, at any rate, that's what happened. It's been a very confusing few days between what was reported and then what was reported later, and these 2 terrible crimes happening and then them being tied together. And there's been a lot of misinformation. There's a big rumor around Twitter that people are freaking out about that Barack Obama was following Valente on Twitter. It's not true. It's just a,
oh my God.
Anytime there's anything wild that happens like this, then the conspiracy theories start flowing. There's been a lot of them about these cases. But at any rate, it's very sad. I can't even imagine why things like this happen, but here we are. So all of our love to all of the families that are going to go through the holidays having just buried somebody that they loved because of this.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Or anything else for that matter. But,
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, right, Jules? Jules said, I don't know what we're going to do about mental health. What to do about people who need inpatient facilities, right? And did this guy need that? It kind of seems like he did. I mean, my best guess is that he kind of came undone.
I think just access for everyone is where we start. It's not really about inpatient facilities. It's about just that there's mental health access for everyone that doesn't cost any money and that doesn't require insurance, and that gives people access to the services that they need because it's what's best for us as a society.
Yeah.
That's when things get better.
Yes, agree. It's a huge start anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Ashley said everyone's wearing Browne University swag around here. I'll bet. I'll bet. Solidarity, huh? Yep. Alrighty. Well, that's what we've got. So we're going to be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. for our last show of the year.
What? Yep.
Crazy. So we will see you then. Please take good care of yourselves. Thank you very much for being here. Thanks for being a part of the squad. You guys, you make it all worth it. We appreciate you all very much. And we'll see you soon. This has been yet another production of the True Crime Squad.
Bye, everybody.
Season 6, we're back again. Kristi and Katie, your crime time friends. Stories, justice, laughs collide. True Crime Squad, come join the ride. Grab the clues, let's take a stand. For victims' voices, hand in hand. True Crime Squad, it's time to shine. Season 6, your turn, your time. True Crime Squad, where justice meets hilarity.